Good evening, President Reeser, Superintendent Thompson, and members of the board. I want to start by thanking WPS Scholastic students and faculty for sharing digital images of our award-winning student artwork for tonight's viewing, and also to Marcia Scurfield, WPS Visual Arts Curriculum Coach, for organizing this slideshow. The Scholastic Art and Writing Awards is the oldest and most prestigious recognition program for creative teenagers in the United States. Each work is reviewed by a panel of arts professionals for originality, technical skill, and an emergence of professional vision and voice. As you can imagine, it's been a unique year for Scholastics, but with much perseverance, our WPS teachers and students submitted Gold Key, Silver Key, and Honorable Mention winners. We even have an American Visions nominee, which is a huge honor as only 5 American Vision nominees are selected from the pool of Gold Key winners. From the total of 45 WPS selected artworks, our 12 Gold Key and 14 Silver Key will be on display at the Eastern Kansas Scholastic Art Awards exhibition hosted by Wichita's Mark Arts from Friday, February 12th through Saturday, March 27th. While we want to thank and congratulate these award-winning students and faculty, I also want to recognize any parents, family members, and administrators that are joining us tonight online. Thank you for your continued support of these talented students. So, how about a virtual round of applause for our Scholastic students, teachers, parents, family members, and administrators. Following tonight's good news item, Ms. Scurfield and I will be distributing to each of our winners a certificate of recognition prepared by our district's Strategic Communications Division. Once again, if anyone would like to view the entire exhibition, it is at Mark Arts, 1307 North Rock Road, and will start Friday, February 12th until the March 27th awards ceremony, where numerous college scholarships will be awarded. Finally, many thanks to our Board of Education and district leadership for once again supporting our Wichita Public Schools' excellent representation at this year's Scholastic Art Awards. Thanks, everyone.
Good evening, President Reeser, Vice President Blankley, Superintendent Thompson, and members of the board. I am proud to present the good news about the many ways our Wichita community has supported Wichita Public Schools and its students since last March. I first want to recognize 4 groups that provided significant resource contributions, especially at the beginning of this pandemic. The Assistance League of Wichita has continued its mission of providing school clothing to students in need by supporting the McKinney-Vento program and Title I schools, and by providing a donation of $10,000 worth of child-sized masks in the fall. All this even while their own resources were stretched due to the pandemic. Exploration Place not only set up a remote learning site for students, the organization's staff started creating virtual content for students learning at home in the spring, and then they continued that work with our curriculum team this fall to create more than 40 STEM lessons designed for remote learning just for our staff at no cost. Project Teacher continued its mission in providing necessary school supplies to teachers and expanded that work this year to include significant donations of cloth masks and cleaning supplies, on top of the everyday school supplies that they continue to provide to teachers. And the Wichita Community Foundation worked with its donors to provide financial support for the Food for Kids collaboration that I'll touch on more in a minute, and remote learning printing efforts in the spring. We had several critical partners that helped us feed our students, starting with Meddy's and the group of restaurants that immediately provided food and servers to put meals in kids' hands, while our nutrition services team developed a robust plan for meal distribution. Then Credit Union of America and Cargill both stepped up with financial donations to help that food service run in both the spring and the summer. In addition, we want to acknowledge the support of 2 major initiatives that Terrell Davis oversaw last spring and this fall. In the spring, he rallied groups including First Student, the WPS Transportation Department, Real Men, Real Heroes, the Wichita Police Department, the WPS Magna Office, the Pando Initiative, Greater Wichita Ministerial League, the Wichita branch of NAACP, Rise Up for Youth, and Newman University to ensure that students who usually receive the Kansas Food Bank's weekend food support would still be able to have that source of needed food during the spring shutdown. Then in the fall, when we knew that many families would need internet support, he brought together 35 area churches to support the Closing the Homework Gap initiative, providing much appreciated financial resources to ensure that no student in our district would go without the opportunity to learn, whether at home or at school. When we knew graduation couldn't be celebrated like normal, KWCH worked with us to secure sponsors and TV time to make sure that we could produce segments honoring all of our 2020 high school graduates. In a typical year, our students enjoy the opportunities available to explore the many cultural institutions and nonprofit organizations that Wichita has to offer. With restrictions in place on field trips for the safety of our students and staff, the Instructional Services team, led by Diane Smokorowski, began organizing virtual field trips. These provided teachers and students with much appreciated supplements to the curriculum, as well as provided our local, state, and even national organizations with ways to continue to reach our students virtually. More than 40 local and state organizations have participated in these adventures that have reached more than 110,000 students since the first virtual safari in October. That's many more than the 47,000 plus students that we have in our district. And there are still more of these adventures to come. We also want to recognize those area nonprofits and businesses that realized the need for safe places for students to learn virtually while their parents and guardians continued to work. We thank the Greater Wichita YMCA, Salvation Army, Wichita State University, Boys and Girls Clubs of South Central Kansas, Clay Kids, Izora Elaine Dean Educational Center, Sedgwick County Zoo, Strategic Workspace, YEEP Training Center, Exploration Place, and It Takes a Village for providing remote learning centers for students and families who needed that support. Finally, we want to thank some of our community partners that provided school supplies through donation drives in the late summer. Many of these groups have worked with us on supply drives for years. This year, they changed their routines and their focus to ensure that the newly necessary supplies of cloth masks, reusable water bottles, headphones, and other COVID and remote learning specific needs were met. This is but a snapshot of the many ways that the Wichita community supports Wichita Public Schools. Without these organizations contributing in many different ways, the hard work that our teachers and leaders do to serve students would be even harder. For that, we say thank you. And we look forward to the day when we can once again welcome so many other volunteers and partners into our buildings to continue the great work of empowering our students and staff to dream, believe, and achieve.